Have you guys ever struggled with the right templates or the right words when it comes to your copywriting? My name's Corey. I'm here with my partner, Nathan, and we want to make sure that you lean in and pay attention to this because if you do, this content is going to help you eliminate the confusion around your messaging and how to get your words into your copy. And if you don't pay attention, well, unfortunately, you're going to keep spinning your wheels, getting frustrated, not knowing what to say and when to say it. So, Nathan, if you don't mind, man, share with us a little bit of what you got and sort of how you figured this out.
Awesome, man. Thank you, Corey. I'm really excited today because a lot of people come up with that problem. Like, I don't know what words to use. I don't know what template to use. And honestly, like I've tried every template in the world. It seems like studying copywriting for so many years and going through the courses and the programs and the books and everything. There's all these templates. And recently I was helping a client go through and uncover his authentic impact statement. And he was really clear on certain things. And he's asking, I was trying to explain the templates that he understood of how it fit in. And he's like, but you're telling me it's 3 different templates. And I said, because it is. And I didn't really realize what was going on at the time, but like and then I went to Funnel Hacking Live and I'm listening to Russell speak and the copywriting, and I'm talking to some other people and they're asking about what to use when and how to do it. And they're like, do I use this? Right? Do I use hook, story, and offer, or do I use problem, agitate, solve? Right? And like, or what do I use? Right? How do I use attention, interest, desire, action? There's so many different templates. And so what I realized is, and here's another challenge to it. Here's another reason why it's so difficult is because when these people, when we as copywriters, when we frame our process, we always make it proprietary, right? We use clever wording so that it's our system: hook, story, offer, problem, agitate, solve, ADA. And so we take ADA and we call it our own thing so that it has unique intellectual property, right? Proprietary process. But that makes it really confusing for you. It made it really confusing for me. It makes it really confusing for Corey, right? And so that's why I'm sharing this with you, because Corey, as my partner in Core Level Clarity, I'm trying to help him get better at copywriting so we can influence more people to take the action they need to take so they can step into the person they need to be so they can have everything they want, right? But so when we look at this, what I call copy template stacking. Oops, there it is. So I want to talk about, first of all, Corey, are you with me so far? Am I like, does it make sense how I learned this? I'm trying to get this right.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And I think, again, this is something that I've struggled with, you've struggled with, and I imagine a lot of people have struggled with because, like you said, a lot of marketers and, internet gurus out there, they come up with these frameworks, right? And like you say, they wrap them into this proprietary package to make it their own. And while it's helpful, and definitely having a roadmap is helpful, it's like, what do we do with it after we have it, right? And a lot of times, and I think you're going to get into this, it's almost like overly simplified, right? And so when you get into like, okay, well, if it's supposed to be this simple, then why can't I make it work? Then you start doubting yourself and your abilities, and like a whole slew of negative emotions come in. So I know this problem. I've dealt with it a lot. And when you showed me, this copy stacking framework, or like, taking multiple templates and layering them on top of each other and seeing the through line, that to me was super powerful. And so I'm interested to learn more about, these 5 blocks that are on your image, because I know that this is a really powerful part of copy. So yeah, jump into that, bro.
Perfect. So I'm going to explain these 5 things, and then I'm going to show you this awesome framework that I put together for Corey. So these 5 blocks represent the universal exit doors for your marketing and for your copy. I got this from Gary Bencivenga in a program I got from him. And so at first, right, the first thing that happens is they have no time. That's how you have to get their attention. You have to get their interest. Or you have to get their attention. You have to get their, so that they lean in. That's a headline. And actually, let me do this. I'm going to cover the 5 universal exit doors, and then I'm going to jump into the template and show you how the templates stack on and how you close these doors with the different templates that you're using now. Okay. So the first door is no time. I have no time. I'm not paying attention. You got to get me. The second thing is no interest. Like, all right, like I'm looking now. You got my attention, but like I don't really care. So we got to get their interest. The next thing is, all right, like I see what you're talking about. I'm kind of interested, but you're no different. I've heard this before. I've heard it all before because that's how our brain works. And then you tell them like, no, this is different. You've never seen it before. It's awesome. And then they're like, okay, this is different, but like there's no proof. I don't believe you that it's going to work. So the next one is no belief. So far we have no time, no interest, no different, and no belief. Right. And if I don't believe you, I can't move forward. And once you believe them, right, the next problem is no decision. Right. You got no decision. So you gotta get them to make a decision that's in their best interest so that they can move forward with your product, your service, or whatever you're trying to help them with. So again, there's no time. And real quick, I'm going to give you Gary Bencivenga's ways of closing those doors. Okay. So there's no time. You close that door with a spectacular opener. Okay, an opener that grabs their attention. There's no interest. To address the interest, you need to introduce the problem. When they see the problem, they'll go, oh, okay, I understand that problem. I've got that problem. Now they're interested. But then they'll say, you're no different. So now you say, promise. Here's the promise that I'm different, that I do it differently, that I have another way of doing it. And then the next door is no belief. And so you got to give them proof. Okay, you got to give them proof. And the final door is no decision. So you got to give them a proposition. So, okay. And so real quick, Corey, let me just check in. How does that sound? Does this make sense so far?
Yeah, bro. And again, I love this, guys. This is super exciting to me. So like these 5 doors, when I first learned this framework, it really like turned on a lot of light bulbs. And I'm sure it's doing the same for you. And you know, when you realize, okay, these are the 5 areas that most people fall out instantly, and you think of your content and your messaging, okay, how can I approach these 5 areas? Then you start to think, well, wait, there's other frameworks that I've learned, and how do they tie in? Like, what about Russell Brunson and his hook story offer? And like, what about, you know, this framework and that framework? What do I do now?
Yeah, man. Well, let me jump in and kind of share it with them and show them what we got here.
Oh, cool.
So there's a couple of frameworks in here. If you're not familiar with the 3-way to grow your business model, that's what this is here. And we'll get into that another time. But right now, I want to show you that we're trying to get in this with our copy. Right now, we're trying to get more clients. And so if we open this up and we look, we've got our 5 exit doors. Okay, no time, no interest, no different, no belief, no decision. And if we look at no time, so there's a couple different, again, we're stacking frameworks. And so it looks really complicated, but the problem is most people get too simple too soon. So you're trying to make your complicated process super simple, but you don't understand how the complex pieces of you and your business and all these different things fit in to these frameworks. And so if we look, remember I said no time, we close with an opener. An opener is also attention. An opener is also hook. It's also a headline. Okay, so there's different ways that, okay, attention, interest, desire, action, hook, story, offer, right? Start with a good headline. Those are all ways to close the no time door. All right, and if we look at no interest, if I have no interest, how can I escape? How can I be entertained? Hook and attention. So if we collapse this down for just a second, this is where it gets really confusing, and I'm trying to make it simple. Hopefully I do. You can address no time and no interest with just a headline. It doesn't have to be both parts, right? A hook could do the time and the interest, right? A good intro, a good opener. And so it's not one or the other, right? If we look at, so next door is no different. And he says you need a promise, right? But here's where you need your authentic market value or your USP. You need to invalidate, right? There's a framework that goes problem, agitate, invalidate, solve, ask, right? And I know I'm giving you like all kinds of templates, but what I want you to see is how it's not one or the other, but how they fit in to each other. So let me real quick take a break and check in and see how's this sounding right now so far, Corey?
Yeah, no, I love it, man, and thanks for checking in. So I'm actually gonna let's bring that slide back up, because can you bring your screen back up?
Yeah,
Because I think this is, Yeah, this is really interesting. And you said something, like this looks really confusing, right? And it's because what we've done is literally layered on a bunch of these different frameworks on top of each other, again, to show you that through line, right? To show you that when you get a framework from your favorite marketer or you get something that you believe is going to work for your business, it's been simplified down to a point to make it easy to teach, right? But the problem is teaching it and implementing it are two different things. So what we're trying to do here is show you all of the different frameworks broken out and then explain to you what the importance of, like, what's really truly important when it comes to implementing, right? So like thinking about, okay, I'm creating a piece of content, how can I get people's attention, right? I now know I need to close the door of no time and no interest. I can think of my hook as doing these two things, right? And then my hook needs to be something that is powerful and punchy. There's certain elements that are themed throughout all of these different frameworks, right? And so like what we're trying to do by stacking them is showing you that, again, like Nathan said, you don't have to pick one or the other, and you don't have to try to fit yourself into this mold. Instead, you fit the mold to you, right? You figure out a way how to take this amazing framework and fit it to your business, your unique, strengths and your authentic awesome, right? What makes you amazing in your marketplace, you want to fit those frameworks to you and not the other way around. And so like that's what we've done, or we're trying to do with this mind map here. And I really love this because, again, it's this idea of simple on the other side of complicated, which Nathan's getting into. It's like you can't simplify something really, really complicated and expect it to work without looking at the complications as well. So that's what we've done here and breaking it out. And I'm rambling now. So yeah, I get it.
No,
Hopefully you guys get it.
I'm so glad you brought that up, right? Because that's part of it is getting simple too soon. And that's another concept we're going to share with them soon is people get simple too soon. And listen, before we're done today, like I'm going to give you the list of all the things and how they fit in. So you've got it. So don't worry. Like we're going to make sure that when you leave, you've got what you need. But if we look back, actually, if we go back to that template, if we go back to what we're looking at, I'm going to actually, there's two ways I can go. I can either, but I want to show you one thing interesting about proprietary processes and intellectual property. So this Gary Bencivenga's format is no time, no interest, no different, no belief, no decision. No, because it sounds cool and it works. And then in green, I highlighted his way of displaying it, and he calls it the OPPPP, right? Opener, problem, promise, proof, and proposition, which I didn't make green yet. Sorry. The reason that I show you this, okay, the reason that I make this point is because it's pithy, it makes sense, but you can't describe everything to do with a P word, right? You just like a P word fits and it does explain what you need to do, but it's not everything because it sounds better. It's more simplified, right? And that's like, we do that because it's easier to sell things that way. It's easier to communicate your value if you simplify things that way. But most of us don't know, like Corey said, we're trying to fit into the strengths of the strategy, but we're not fitting the strategy to our unique strengths. And that's why you're spinning your wheels. That's why you're going over and over again. So we just went wide, and I want to go deep now to show you a little bit more about how this copy stacking works in one specific area. So I'm going to jump back over here. And can you guys see me okay?
Yeah, you're good.
Perfect. So when we break this down, I got all kinds of things open. Let me minimize these for you. And there's so much that goes into this. All right. And so we're going to talk about, when you look at this 3-way to grow a business model below you, it's a model for creating synergy on demand. And we're going to teach that to you soon for sure, very shortly. But let's just right now, let's look at attention, right? Because when you're marketing, let me just simplify it. When you're marketing, there's 3 steps: attention, education, conversion. All right. There, no time, no interest, no different, no belief, hook, story, offer, what, when, how, why, like all the frameworks are really, how do we get attention? How do we educate them? And how do we convert them? So real quick, let's just look at attention. All right. We got to close the no time door, and we got to close the no interest door to get their attention so that we can teach them. Okay. And if we put this up, these are the things that get attention: novelty, shock, curiosity, benefit, problem, urgency, proof. These are the things that need to go into your hook, or can go into your hook. These are the elements that can go into your headline. Okay. And then all of these, right, are multiplied by consistency, volume, and virality. So this looks super, super complicated, right? And it kind of is. But really, it's what you do is you simplify. You go, okay, I need to get attention. Okay. And so I got the option of using hook, story, headline, right? I got the option of my templates. So can I create some novelty? Can I create some shock? What this allows you to do is go through each of these sections and ask a question based on these to find the right thing to grab attention. And when you have, because then it's simple on the right side. Like then it's simple on the other side of complicated, where you're just going to simply go through and ask yourself, okay, can I create some novelty, something new they've never seen before? Can I shock them in a way like something they've never heard before? How do I make sure that there's some curiosity in my hook, in my headline, so they want to read more, so they want to engage more? Okay. And then what's a benefit that I could maybe throw in this hook so they really resonate and sit down? Or what problem can I introduce? So when you break out the templates and you understand how they stack together, and then you look at the multipliers, you look at the things, the elements that make the template work, then you can cycle through them and find different ways to come up with that attention and to reach people. And so that's how you go take something complicated and make it simple without missing a step. Now, how does that sound, Corey?
Yeah, I love that, man. I love that. And it's beautiful the way that you have this laid out. And actually, I think we're gonna make this available to people, right? This mind map to try to help
Not
simplify
yet,
things
because
for them.
I'm still working it out for you. Once I fill it out, like we're still working on it. So it will be something that's in the foundation at one point, and we may share it publicly. But right now, I'm still I need to finish working on it before we can release it.
All right. Well, sorry guys, I tried. We will get this to you
Working
because
it.
I know, look, I know you guys want this. I want this, and I already have it. So we will try to make this available to you guys. And like Nathan said, it's definitely something we plan on implementing into the foundation. But this idea of simple on the other side of complicated is really profound. And I think when you wrap your mind around it, it should help you clear some of that confusion around creating your copy and getting your messaging out there. So I love it, man. And I'd love to dive deeper into this. I know, we plan on doing that, but I think that this is a good taste of this, template stacking idea and concept. And yeah, I'm interested to see what you guys think. So if you're watching this, definitely let us know in the comments, what you think about this.
Well, look, if everybody really wants it, then we'll give them a rough draft version of it. But real quick before we leave, I want to leave people with a list, okay? So that they can look at this and apply it to the templates they're using and the frameworks they're using, because the mind map isn't totally ready, confuse people more than it'll help them. And I want to make sure that we don't confuse people. We're giving them progress. So let me keep it really simple right now that they understand the complexity, and I'm going to give them a list. So on a piece of paper, here's what you're going to do. You're going to write down across the top, right? 1 through 5. You're going to write down, or you can we'll screen capture this, right? You can't read my chicken scratch, but you got no time, no interest, no different, no belief, no decision. Okay. You see how you have things listed underneath them? Okay. So underneath no time, you're going to list opener, hook, headline, attention, story. Those are ways to close the no time door. No interest. And you'll see some repeat. You'll see some things in both columns or all columns because they apply. So no interest, we got problem, hook, headline, entertain/escape. Why? Agitate the problem. Tell a story. Those are ways that you close the no interest door. No different. Underneath no different. What's the promise you're making? What's the unique promise you're making that no one else can make? What's your authentic market value that no one else can bring to the game? Can you invalidate the other solutions in the market and show them why yours works better? Can you insert some desire? Can you talk about the benefit, the outcome? This is also the what and part of the why. And then story is also in this column. Fourth, we have no belief. And under no belief, we've got proof, testimonials, or word of mouth. We got data and research. We got brand identity. We got story, whether it's an aha story, an epiphany story, a hero's journey, right? And this is the what of what you do so that they can understand how it affects their life. That's how you close the no belief door. Finally, we have no decision. Okay, and this is conversion, but as part of conversion is proposition. A proposition is a confusing term. It also means your offer, your coupon, your reason to take action. Okay, and so those are the parts, those are the doors you need to close with your templates, with your words. All right, and now you have a list, so you can kind of look over and say, okay, am I using a hook story offer template? Because then I can see which doors does hook close, which doors does story close, and story, by the way, closes every door, right, except for the final ask. That the final conversion decision, you have to ask for something, but story is universal, and that's the other thing. Story is the way that you can give a hook. It's the way that you can give a why or a problem. So again, story stacks on top of these other templates, and hopefully that's super, super valuable. Corey, what do you think?
Yeah, I love it, man. I love it. Do you want to wrap it up here? Because I mean, we could just
Yeah,
talk about this all
let's
day.
wrap it up here, and we'll come back with some more lessons soon.
All right, sweet. So there you guys have it, guys. This is, our concept of template stacking, and this is something that you can definitely use to really simplify that complexity around all of these frameworks that you've been, finding as you're doing your market research. So one thing that we wanted to do was to just make this mention. If you like this and you want more content like this, we're going to be doing something exclusive for people that are part of our foundation. If you want to check that out, you can head over to ua2foundation.com. We have a short little letter there. You can read that letter. If you like what you read, then go ahead and apply to work with us. But again, this is a concept that we're going to start testing more in terms of getting these videos out there, teaching you guys these different frameworks and ways to use frameworks. And then obviously, like I said, we've got a lot more for you inside the foundation. So if you're interested, go check that out. Otherwise, we'll catch you on the next video.
Awesome, man. Let me say one more thing, and this is why we're putting things on the other side of that foundation, is because I'm giving you these things. We're going to give you the strategies, and we're going to help them fit your strengths. But when you go through the foundation, we help you uncover, identify, and harness all those unique strengths so you know how to use them, so you know how to apply them to the strategies. So there's some things we just can't, that won't make sense until you know how to go through our proprietary process, right? To understand these things. So it's not, we're going to share with you everything we can that won't confuse you, that won't set you back.
Right.
But on the other side of that is a whole bunch of awesomeness that won't make sense until you understand and can frame, that unique value. And we're so excited for you to become 100% competitor proof. And so I'm sorry, man.
Yeah, no, for sure. That's it, guys. So yeah, appreciate you watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.
Awesome.